Welcome to the WEAR podcast. My name is Clare Hughes and I'm a board member of the Women in Estate Agency group. Women in Estate Agency is a community filled with amazing women doing incredible things in our industry. And we're delighted to bring these weekly podcasts to you. But of course it wouldn't be possible without our fantastic partners at Digital Sparks. Now, if you don't know Digital Sparks, if you haven't come across them, check them out on Instagram. They're producing the most incredible content for all across our sector. So, without further ado, let me introduce our first guest. So I'm delighted to have as our guest today, Jo Parker. She's a director with the Fine & Country in Surrey Hills. She has quite an interesting journey into estate agency, which is really sort of a testament to her flexibility and resilience, really. So welcome, Jo. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me here, Claire. I'm really looking forward to it. So
I mentioned that you had an interesting journey into estate agency. I know it was a completely different business that you started in. So tell me a little bit about that.
So my background actually is in advertising, but I as a single parent, had to choose something that would work around the kids. And I had a shoe company called Shoe Queen. You actually have to get permission from Buckingham Palace to use the word
Did you
Queen.
really?
Yeah, you do.
Who do you write to?
I can't remember.
The Queen.
That long ago. The Queen. Can I say Queen in my title? No. I had a shoe company which was a bit like Tupperware, but you're taking shoes into people's houses. So I had Shoe Queens taking shoes into people's houses. And it was going really well. And as a shoe queen, you
Did you establish that yourself?
Yeah.
So
well, not completely. I bought somebody's shoe shop and her connections. And I didn't. What she was doing, she had a little shoe shop. She also was going to trade markets, and I didn't want to do that. So I transformed it into a shoe party plan company, still using one of her contacts, which was a company in China. Right. And then we established another contact in Spain, they also made the shoes for LK Bennett.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it was great. So we had shoe queens going out to people's houses, and then of course the recession hit. And we literally overnight lost our margins. So dollar dropped from $2 to the pound to like 140. Yeah. The euro dropped the pound dropped against the euro. Yeah. So buying the shoes and keeping keeping the production going just became too expensive. And then as we went into the recession, people stopped buying as many shoes as well. So it just came crashing down.
Double whammy, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was a little bit depressed, a little bit sad, grieving my shoe company.
How long had it been running?
It had only been running about 3 years, so it wasn't big enough. We didn't have an established enough network of shoe queens or customers or even the products to go, because you can't keep taking the same shoes out to the same people. So one of my friends just dragged me into the local estate agency. They were looking for a Saturday viewing assistant. So I started there. I started as a Saturday viewing assistant in Sussex, and worked my way up to a branch manager.
Did you instantly love it?
I love it. Yeah, I loved it. And literally, he had a chat with me. He said, "Oh God, I'm so sorry. I've given the job to somebody else, but I really want you." And then he phoned me up that Saturday and said, "Can you come in? She's let me down." And he literally just handed me keys, brochures and addresses, and off I went. Yeah, I loved it. Love it.
It's a story I hear so often about from women in estate agency. It's that, well, how did you get into it? I just fell into it. But once in, that's it.
That's it.
It's that. And sometimes they step out, perhaps when they have children, they think, I need to take a break from this. I need to do something that is more conducive to school holidays or whatever. And then they have to come back. They're drawn back into it.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
That's obviously
I'm so nosy, though. I'm so nosy. God, just love looking at people's houses.
Do you think that's what it is?
Well, it's also, let's be honest, I mean, it's tough, it's hard work.
Oh, it's hard work.
It's hard work, but the main part of it is not being nosy and nosing around people's houses, but it's about relationships, about building relationships with your clients. Your clients need to trust you. And I think women bring that too.
I was just about to say, do you think women are better at doing that?
I'm going to say this on camera.
I know.
Yeah, I think women can be better.
It's sort of sitting on the sofa, in your client's lounge, and asking them about, their aspirations, why they're moving, what's the motivation for moving. And we know all of this stuff, but finding out about, I don't know if it's they're moving because of schools. Okay, what are the ambitions for the schools? And find out about the children, the family, and as you say, just so nosy. I am. I love it. I love it.
My background, actually, I've got a postgrad in counselling, so
there you go.
and I think that works brilliantly because this job is about counselling because it's a massive emotional and business, and it's one transaction that is emotional and business, and it's like people. The tier and the way we do it here is just awful. Anyone can pull out. Yeah, in England and Wales. Yeah. So anyone can pull out right up to 5 minutes before exchange, and you've had people in tears, and it's their whole life. And you also meet people at a change in life as well, don't you?
Yeah, so it's because they're transitioning, whether they're upsizing,
good
relocating, death, divorce, all of those things. Do you feel that when something does fall through at the last minute, do you feel that people blame the agent?
Well, interestingly enough, I have had a horrible fall through in the last couple of weeks.
You have?
Yeah, I have. Which made me cry myself to sleep, and I couldn't speak to the person that had pulled out. So I literally put a house on the market for somebody who wanted to buy a house with us. And we tied up a deal. I got over £100,000 over their asking price. Tied up a deal with their onward purchase, which was a client of mine. Yeah. It took me about a week to get it all lined up. And we agreed, everything went out, and the Friday morning, Friday afternoon, they phoned up, said we could change our minds. I'm left holding the baby.
Yeah.
It took me several hours before I could pick up the phone to somebody else, and that's what I get emotional about. I'm letting these two people down, and you've just walked away.
But you can do that. You can do that. I mean, in as you say, in England and Wales, that's perfectly possible.
Yeah.
I'm seeing reservation fees coming in.
Yeah, I think they're a really good idea. So in that instance, nobody blamed the agent. Good. Which was lovely. Yeah. Nobody blamed the agent. I think what it is that I'm finding that we're their point of sale. We are their sales contact, aren't we? So basically, they put their house on the market, but the only person they can talk to or blame or take their frustrations out is us.
Yes.
And so when things don't happen in a sales progression, or nobody is coming to view it, who else can you blame? Yeah. But the estate agent.
Yeah, and they know that we'll pick up the phone to them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We're in a service industry.
Not everybody in the transaction will actually pick up the phone to them.
No, not everybody in the transaction will pick up the phone. So yeah, we get the brunt of it. Whether or not we get the blame, I think that's down to the estate agent, actually. I think if you are handling it well and talking to people all the time and saying, I've done this, I've done that,
and be open and transparent as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's really difficult, when nothing's happening, to pick up the phone and go, we're still working on it. It's like, absolutely.
You thought we'd sold your house. Well, we
haven't.
Yeah. So your dream of moving to wherever has now gone. Can we just backtrack a little bit? So you started as a viewing assistant.
Yeah, on Saturdays.
1 day a week.
Yeah.
Young children at that stage?
Well, I came to it, I'm going to give my age away, I came to it when I was about 50, so how old are my girls? So I did do parenting late, so they were teenager and, just at secondary school.
Right, so still quite young, still need you.
Yeah.
But how quickly did you transition sort of into a full-time role?
Quite quickly, as soon as they could get me in, actually. So, but the thing about estate agency, even then, even pre-COVID, it can be quite flexible for you. So you can say, I'm going to do these hours and I'll work an extra day. I managed to do some days where I only worked till about 3, so I was at home for kids. So
right, okay. So It was a full-time role, but you were
flexible.
hybrid working.
Kind of hybrid working. Yeah, absolutely.
Which I think it's perfectly possible to do that.
But
I know some employers are still not happy with it. That was with an independent agent.
Yeah.
And then how did you progress from there?
Into Fine and Country.
So did you
through that? I went. I got as far as branch manager.
Right. Okay. Obviously, quite quickly.
Fairly quickly, yeah. And then I was approached by somebody who wanted me to work with them in Fine and Country, and that became the sort of like look at the self-employed model, and it appealed. Yeah. It appealed.
Why does it appeal to you?
It's the flexibility. It's about being able to choose who you work with.
I'd use the word control. So you're in control of your own destiny.
Absolutely.
So if you want to work in part-time, that's your choice. If you want to work...
You don't know, do you really, Claire? You don't work part-time, you work all the time.
No, but if you do... But if you want to do 60, 70 hours a week...
Yeah, you can.
That's okay. Yeah. And there's nobody telling you that's what you've got to do. So, that's something that I hear quite a bit about when people are thinking about self-employment, whichever model they're joining. So you've had your own business with Fine and Country for 5 years now.
Yeah.
But you previously had a business, obviously the Shoe Queen.
Yeah.
Did you have any sort of learnings, any takeaways from that business or the failure of that business that you've used in the estate agency business?
That's a really good question. Have I learned anything? God, it's terrible if I said no, I've learned nothing. I'm here in my 60s, I've learned absolutely nothing. I think the big thing is about relationships. It is about there's nothing more lonely than selling your house when your agent doesn't talk to you and you are in the dark. Yeah. You don't know what's going on, and and also after you've tied up a deal, there's weeks where the solicitors are doing stuff. So it is mainly about establishing relationships and maintaining them.
I think that is it's part of our job to explain that to our clients, that this is what's going to happen. It's going to take a long time. So my relationship with you, Mr. Client or Mrs. Client, is, even from the day of instruction to the completion, it's likely to be around 6 months, possibly more.
I'm in your life for 6 months.
And there will be periods where it goes silent, but don't worry about it too much, because most people don't move home very often.
No, they don't.
And I tend to work with people that perhaps haven't sold for 30, 40, sometimes even 50 years. Yeah. And it's all changed. So, and they can't remember what it was like anyhow. No. So yes, I think that's part of our role, is to make sure that people are aware of how long it's going to take, the periods of silence in between. So how do you think women in estate agency are viewed? Not women. Do you think it's more challenging for women, or is it easier for women?
It's interesting. That's an interesting question. I watched your podcast on the Ignite podcast with Sam Ashdown.
Oh yes, yeah.
And interestingly enough, you're saying that the young people sales negs are women. Older people, the more senior roles tend to be more men that apply for it. So the perception is really weird. I mean, we've spoken about this before. I think there is a glass ceiling. There is. And then you asked me previously whether or not that was a self-inflicted glass ceiling for us as women, or whether or not it's actually there. And it's a really difficult question, because I think we do get to a certain level and then we stop for some reason, and then we go on, and I can't work out whether or not it's because the industry has dictated that, or whether we dictate it and we just think we don't put ourselves forward for those roles.
This has come up on other episodes as well, and it's do we create that, or do we not have enough positive role models around, so that we think, oh yes, we can achieve, because the stats are, and somebody will correct me on this, 75% of the women coming into agency, of people coming into agency are female, but at board level is about 63%.
So what happens to us?
Yeah, exactly. So where have those women gone? Have they left the industry? Maybe they don't know that these careers that are out there to be had. So that it's, it's having those positive role models and making sure people are aware that there isn't a glass ceiling. Or
well, I think the self-employed model that you and I have adopted means that yes, we are our own directors. We are our own, we are in charge of the company. Whether we decide to be a company of 1 or a company of 10, we are in charge of it. So we are able to do that. But from the chats that we've had previously, is that I'm obsessed with being old and not being invisible as an older woman. And so when I'm out there on someone's sofa talking to them about what we're going to do with their house, then I'm not invisible. I'm compassionate, and they are, they know that I get them because one, I've done it before and I've lived life, and I'm divorced, so I can talk to somebody who's divorced. I can talk to somebody who's lost a parent because I've lost a parent. I can talk to somebody whose kids are leaving home and the empty nest feeling. I've got all, and that's the kind of price point and the kind of age group that I'm dealing with. Yet when I walk out of there and a man comes in, what happens to them? Why are men perceived as, I don't know, slightly more powerful?
So I've heard this said multiple times that people walk into an estate agency office. There could be an older lady on one side and a younger man on the other side. They will assume that the younger man is the branch manager and that's the person they need to speak to. That the lady, it doesn't matter what age she is. I know. So do you think ageism exists in our sector?
Yes and no.
Right.
Yeah, I do. I do think it still exists. I mean, it exists culturally. So being old we're not perceived, although we are wise.
I know, we're the same age, so we could.
Yeah, I'm a little bit older than you because I've just had a birthday. But yeah, we are. But being old is not. We're not culturally accepted. We are. We've got to work. We are not perceived as being wise in Western societies. Whereas there are some societies where being old is inspirational, is respected.
It's valued.
The elders. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So do we have that in our industry? Yes, we do. We do.
But we have it in the industry because we have it in society.
I think so, yeah. I think so.
But you now have a podcast as well.
Yeah,
would you like to tell us what the title of your podcast?
Yeah, the title of my podcast is When the Fuck Did I Become Old? And
you started that because?
Because there's everything about aging that it suddenly happens to you. I mean, the physicalness of aging. So, when the fuck did I become my mother? When did I look in the mirror and see my mother? And then
I look in the mirror and see my mum. Honestly,
it's scary, isn't it? And then it's like, and things like, when did that piece of skin not move in the same direction as me? I'm going left and my skin's going right. That's a real shock. It doesn't matter. It's going to happen. Luckily, it's going to happen to most of us. We are going to get old. And it's not old. It's the aging process. Yeah. And the aging process, I think, can be quite cruel. And also then we get into a society where, as you say, we're not seeing in the office the older woman, the younger man. It's assumed that the older woman is just like, well, she's invisible almost. Yeah. So, and now that I'm an older woman, it's like, I don't want to be invisible. And I think I've complained to you before, in the gym, I do lift weights. And there's a he's not young actually, well, it depends how it's perceived. He's late 30s, he's the trainer, right? And he talks about me, look at Jo, look, isn't she good? She's lifting weights and she's old, type thing. And I'm like, no, I just want to be... I just want to be able to, I want you to say, no, she's lifting heavy weights. She's lifting heavy weights and she's 60. It's like, that's not funny. I don't want to be 60.
But you are. So, but I think society tells us we've got to look younger.
Yes, yeah, we do.
But we can't all look younger. And, there's only so much you can do. I mean, keeping fit and healthy, I know obviously you lift weights, you keep very, very healthy. I like to do exercises, I swim and I run.
Oh, you do, yeah.
But there's only so much you can do, without going under the knife. And then if you go, but why have we got to do that?
I know.
Why have we got to hide it? Men certainly don't hide it as much as women do.
Well, I did. One of my podcasts was the Battle of the Sexes. Okay, so I did do this sort of like silver fox versus us. As
yeah,
you know,
okay.
the female.
Yeah, what are they silver foxes? And
I
we're
know,
just grey.
it's not fair. It's not fair. I actually called it Battle of the Sexes. It's not fair.
Right.
Is the episode.
Oh, right, okay.
And then one of my. She's a friend of mine, she's a PT, came and went, well, actually, do you know what, I've seen some disgusting looking older men. So it's not always perceived, it's not, or it's men do age better than women for a longer period. They've got thicker skin, so they don't wrinkle as much, all those kind of more collagen in their system, they don't go through the menopause and lose all their hormones, all of that stuff. But actually, some of them don't age very well, admittedly, but we are not allowed to age.
No.
Whereas they are. We're not allowed to grow old. We're not allowed to have a waggly neck or, you know, or grey hair. I mean,
I took advantage of lockdown and the surgery that I'd had. So I'd had half my... I'm going off on a tangent somewhat.
No, I think it's important.
So I had a load of hair shaved. And as it was growing out, we went into lockdown, and I thought, I'm not going to colour my hair anymore, and I haven't, and it's
a nice
just
shade of
it's
grey.
just
It's a nice
going
shade.
gradually.
It's lovely.
But I think when I'm completely grey, I'll be thinking, oh, now they'll think I'm really old. As opposed to just moderately old, I'm really old.
But as a man, if you were grey, doesn't matter, does it?
It doesn't matter.
No.
No, nobody bats an eyelid, do they?
Not at all.
Yeah.
So,
we could probably talk all day about
aging.
It's the invisibility as well that you mentioned, and I can see it. I can't necessarily see it with myself yet, but my father's still alive, and I can see that people view him as just an old man, and he's just, you know, they don't know the person that he was. So I would say that once you get to a certain age, it doesn't matter if you're male or female, you're just old, and they forget that you've been this vibrant, active person, and you know, it's and I think again, as a society, we don't value that, whereas other cultures they definitely do, and you know, with age comes wisdom.
We don't.
So
and then also with age comes loneliness as well, because if we aren't invisible,
100%.
and who do we talk to and who wants us? Whereas there are. You talked to you about blue zones. Did I tell you about the blue zones?
No.
Oh, I'd say there's 5 areas in the world where people are living to over 100,
right,
and they are living well, and that is because of various things in the blue zone. So they're concluded, they've got purpose, they exercise, they eat well, those kind of things. So one's in Japan, one's in Greece, one's in America actually. So it's a religious. It's a religious bit like I forgot what they're called now. But where they don't actually they don't have any tech, and everything they do is they do physically. So they physically mix cakes and all that, pick their potatoes, all that kind of stuff. But it's about inclusion and then so back to estate agency and women aging in estate agency. Are we allowed to age in a estate agency? Yes, we are to a certain extent, because as I go out, the clients trust you, but when it's you versus a man, do you win? Do you win the business all the time against a man?
I don't know.
It's interesting, isn't it? It's like the perception of...
Yes, it is. I just know that just getting older is just not as valued in this country as it perhaps is in other countries. Moving on to a completely different subject, but I know it's something you're quite interested in, is AI and how that's going to impact our industry.
So I think AI, well, you know, like it or not, AI is coming, and of course, as I say,
coming fast as well.
Yeah, as I say, we're already, you know, invisible as older women, but is AI going to take over the industry? Or I don't know. AI's, you know, there are certain jobs that I think will go. Whether or not ultimately the estate agent job will go, who knows. There are AI apps out there now that will do lead generation for you and prospecting whilst you sleep. I still think you need that empathy in an agent. I don't think we're going to disappear completely, but I do think we're in danger of people losing their jobs.
I think it's still good to need humans, because it is such a stressful thing to do. And if everything was sort of automated, I don't think that will happen. But it's got to change the industry. I mean, I've certainly seen demos on, sort of call handling kind of, and it's very difficult to tell the difference. And that's early stage, and we're just at the beginning.
We're at the end of that. We're at the base of that hockey stick, aren't we, at the moment? And any minute now, it's going to go. And if you're not doing something, you're going to be left behind.
So, what have you seen that's particularly interesting?
Well, it is just that I've seen people. I mean, I get ads because you know what it's like on social media. Once you start looking at something, everything pops up. So I haven't sat down and decided what I want to do with it, but I've seen ads for it. The ads for the lead generation and prospecting is a little bit worrying. Yeah. And then there's social media and influencers are now you can generate your own avatar.
There's an avatar,
and no one knows whether it looks like you. I mean, I listen to podcasts a lot, and I love Stephen Bartlett, and he was saying the other day that there are loads of people who are imitating him to get people to pay for things that they are.
I was just about to say that. I mean, that celebrity sort of, I don't know, they clone the avatar, or something. I don't know what the technical term is, but they're selling a product or trying to sort of bring them on board for whatever purpose, but so it's a phishing, scamming.
It can be.
It's their dream, isn't it? Really, because they can pretend to be whoever they want to be.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what can we believe on the internet now?
Exactly.
Social media.
And even on the end of the line, do we know we're talking to a human being or not?
No, I know.
So there is a place for us still, I think, in a estate agency.
So previously, with automated call answer, if you get a cold call and there's a pause so before they start speaking, but now, as I understand it, they're getting better at that.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
So that it feels like a genuine call. So are you using any AI in your business?
Not yet. No, I mean, no, not yet. I don't think so. I'm trying to think if Fine & Country are. I don't think we are.
But it is something that
I'm looking at.
You're looking at it for the future. And how do you think it will benefit your business?
Well, I think there are certain things that could do with benefits, that could do with streamlining and, as I say, the relationship is really important. But I think the things like sales progression, maybe and things like that, could do with some kind of automated system of everything goes into one place. I mean, wouldn't it be nice if everything was in one place so you could all see it at the same time?
I don't understand why that's not possible. No. It should be possible.
Searches, everything.
Yeah. And so all the compliance.
So
the data's coming from the same place.
Absolutely.
So why can't we all see it at the same time?
Why are searches not held in one place where you can go in, search, and wait instead of waiting 6 weeks for it to be delivered to your
It's
solicitor?
like an EPC. We can go and get the EPC.
Yeah, why can't we get the search?
I have no idea. But I mean, surely that would have been possible years ago.
Yeah. Why is?
So there are several parties, obviously, in the transaction that needed this data. So why can't we upload it to a platform, send it there by AI? I don't know is the answer.
That'll happen.
So somebody out there, please tell me what the answer is to that.
Yeah.
But I think there's probably a lot of administrative roles that AI could be useful for. I mean, we see the sort of the business gen side of it, but I think there's lots of administrative roles, and obviously not just in a estate agency, in many industries. Yeah. But I still think there'll be a place for us.
I think, I mean, the thing is, I did pop into ChatGPT to ask information about an AI agent.
Right.
Because I wanted to know what the AI agent could do for me with social media and how much it would cost. It's not that expensive. The only thing at the moment is that you would have to, and this goes for your own CRM as well, behind the scenes, it's like you'd have to give them the information, you'd have to give them your login details. It's like, do I trust this? Yeah. Because it's out there. So I get an AI agent and I give them my login details to my social media, for example, to send them to my podcast. Yeah. Is it out there? Is because I put it on ChatGPT? Is it out there? So I don't know whether security. I think hopefully, as we do get into AI, I think security on it needs to be more stringent, because
we'll have to watch this space and see what happens.
Yeah.
It'll be a fascinating journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
How much it will affect me? I mean, I might have been ridden off into the sunset by the time.
We go. Well, you might not be able to retire at 67. It might
Well,
be
that's true.
71.
That's true. You know, things have changed since we came into the
And
world.
they keep changing, absolutely. So we
But-
could still be here when we're 80.
So I'm sure we can chat all day, but you know, things have to come to an end. But there's one final question
Okay.
that we ask everybody, and it's who would you like to see sitting in the chair that you're sitting in now? Who should we interview in the sector?
Oh, interesting. Have you invited Elaine Penhall in from Lemon and
Yes.
Lime? You have.
Yeah,
I think she makes a big difference to the industry.
For people that don't know Elaine Penhall, she is chief exec of
Lemon and Lime.
Lemon and Lime, and a national business now,
Yeah.
and also the provider of our beautiful chairs as well.
So yeah,
So-
yeah.
and
Well,
they
has she
sponsor
already done?
William.
Have you already recorded with her? Fantastic.
Yeah.
Look forward to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for joining us today, Jo. It's been
Thank
an
you so
absolute
much
pleasure.
for inviting me. I
And,
really enjoyed it.
I look forward to seeing you again very soon.
That'd be lovely. Thanks, Claire.